G'day YouTube! Today I want to talk about improving the recent express passenger train. This one. Good train, did a review of it recently. Set number 60337. Good looking train, a bit different to what we've seen in the past, but definitely some room for improvement in my opinion. And I know some other people have made changes to theirs as well. I'm going to show you the changes that I want to make to mine and discuss why and what I'm going to do. I also did make this change, adding in the Jacobs bogies, which I still love it. I think these are brilliant the way I did these ones. I'm very happy with them. Have a look at my video again, linked in the corner here. But let's start having a look at this sort of step by step. I want to show you a couple of things I'm going to change on this, and I think it'll change it rather a lot for the better. Let's start off talking about the engine. Alright, it's not a terrible looking engine. I've seen a few people change things like the visor up here. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave that as is, although it would be good if it actually was in a line. So maybe I will change that one day, but I'm not going to do that in this video. Now, one of the first things that bugs me on this, and this actually is something that Lego trains have a long history of doing, I always have a short bogie on the front and a big bogie on the back, because this is usually the motor. This actually is a fake one, but it would usually be the motor, which is 10 long, and this is 6 long. It's very disproportionate, so I want to make that bigger, which obviously means that gets to be made smaller, which also adds a bit of opportunity to add a little bit of detailing in here as well. We can think about that as another thing to do. Now, something else I don't like on here is there's nothing here. It's just so boring. Like, how does the driver get in and out? Doesn't really lift the cockpit up, does he? He actually has to get in through a door. So let's put a door in here. Let's make it so he can actually use the train. Next thing I think that would make this a bit more interesting is possibly having 2 of these to hide this hole. I did it on my previous 60197 train, and I got to say I was very happy with how it looked. It just made it a bit more interesting. So I think I'm going to do that as well to improve how this looks. What else? I think this roof. When I saw this train originally, and this goes to the passenger cars as well, was just a little bit boring in my opinion. It's this big sort of slab of black, and I know we've got green lines everywhere and things like that, but this big slab of black, I don't know, it didn't feel very good, very finished. So I think I'm going to do some work to improve that as well. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to build a door here. That's easy. Same as I did on my 60197. As I said, I'm going to make this longer, and then I think what we're going to do is run tiles down the length of this train. And it just so happens I picked up a bucket load of these on the pick-a-brick wall, so we can just run green lines down there, and you'll find that will just change the way this train looks. And if you look at something like the old 60197 train, that actually had tiles on the roof. And if you look at a lot of other Lego trains, they've always had tiles on the roof. This is, in fact, possibly the first train that has no tiles on it, or the first train in a while that has no tiles on the roof. So yeah, adding those in. And then just for completeness, I'm going to run a line of black tiles down the middle as well, just to give it that smooth finish. Gonna obviously need another tile, another bit to go there. That's fine, we can deal with that one easily enough. And then we can also add in another a pantograph, I believe they're called, to go there like that. And suddenly that has changed the roof line on that train. Now for the doors, I think I'm gonna go with this. Here's one I made earlier. It just looks so much better. It looks like there's a purpose to this now. I've got a door handle as well, because that's important. Here you can see I've done the roof on this one properly. Oh, I changed that tile on here. There's a flat tile. I changed it to a pointed tile just because I thought it looked cool. I had loads of these, so I just thought I'd try it, and I actually think that looks way better. It's such a minor thing you don't notice, but I like it. I think it looks good. So you can see I've done on this train already. I made this bogie bigger on the front. There's actually quite a trick to this, to making this look right, which I might show in a different video because it's a bit of a pain in the butt. And then adding this in. Now there's a black tile there because I ran out of the greys, but I'm actually thinking I might put a control panel there or something like a, you know how sometimes trains have like dump valves and things like that on the outside of the engine. I might put that in there. For this I did a very similar trick to what I did on my 60197. So this actually makes it a 7 wide train now because it sticks out from the edges. And you can see it's all done on a 1x2 plate with modified plate with a single stud. It's a mouthful. And then reusing the same window I had there before. I just think that just looks a lot more balanced and finished than this. Like it just makes it look a bit more interesting. And I kind of was doing it and I kind of found myself wondering, can I do something a bit more interesting here? I was almost wondering if it's worth repeating this arrow here to like give it that real kind of speed thing, but then we've got, yeah, I don't know if it would work. Something along those lines anyway, just to break this panel up a bit or change it or something. And then yeah, with the roof tiled properly, I think that looks really good. And I'll show you, oh, I just realised that pantograph's been knocked over. And just to show the whole thing decked out, here's the passenger cars with the roof done on them. I think that looks hot. One thing I didn't say as well, I forgot to say, is I put green plates under here as well, so it's all raised up, so it's all continuous green lines. So now we've got some extra green lines on the side as well. So much green, but I don't mind it. I think it looks better than this plain black roof. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments, but I personally think that green roof looks a whole heap better than just the plain black. Very easy to show that. There we go. Let's do it that way. There we go. And then we'll lay this one on the side here. There. Black versus green tiles. What do we think? I think this one. That's the way I did it. I don't know what. These were on the pick-a-brick wall, I think. So I just got bucket loads of them, knowing I'd find a use for them one day, and how right I was. So yeah, I think that modified train personally is a big improvement over the original. It just looks more interesting and more finished to me. But I want to know in the comments what you think of that. Do you agree? And I'm happy to break down anything I've done here into a video for you. If you want to see how I made that bogie, I can show you that instruction as well, because it's actually quite a trick to make it work. Now I've gone with an 8 long here, not 10 long, because I actually felt it looked a bit strange with the 10 long. I did try it and it looked wrong, but it looks better than it does as a standard train. And then obviously the door here, I'm happy to show you video how to make that as well. That's easy. I'm not going to show you in this video, but I can do it. And yeah, I want to know in the comments what you think of these changes. Do you think they look good? Do you think they really modify this train that little bit further? And is there anything else you'd like to see done to this train? I have been bashing my head against the wall about what to do about the interiors, and I've come to the conclusion it's nearly impossible to improve the interiors because of the way that step's done. You could add some detail to it, but I don't think you can actually make it as good as like previous trains because of that step, unfortunately. But if anybody again has a better approach, let me know. I want to know in the comments, because I love making my trains better and love improving them. Anyway, give this video a like, let YouTube know you've enjoyed it, and if you're new here, please smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you again very soon, and I'll leave you with a couple more videos that I think you will enjoy.